So it was a case of weighing up the two, and to be honest, it felt really like quite an easy decision off the back of the research that I had done, and also from hearing from a friend who'd gone through a horrible experience. But I didn't really find any information online that helped me, especially on YouTube. Like, I found information on the websites, I found information on Google, but I really wanted to hear from someone, like another mum who'd been through it, and I didn't really see much. So that's why I wanted to make this video, to hopefully help you if you're going through a similar experience. I'm Angie Tawari, and I'm a new mum to baby boy Brody. And in this video, I'm going to be talking you through the decision as to why we decided to get his tongue tie and lip tie lasered off instead of cut off, which is the normal NHS procedure that's done. So this is a really niche video. Really, the reason I'm making it is to try and help people who are going through that decision and don't really know what to do, and just to hear from another mum who's been through the experience, because it's not so fun. So to rewind, if you have not already, check out this video, which is my honest experience with breastfeeding and that whole journey, and the reason why it was so challenging for me, especially at the start, and not so much now at all, was because he had lip tie and tongue tie. And so lip tie and tongue tie means that breastfeeding can be excruciatingly painful, and also that baby's not getting as much or latching on as easily as they should be. They're really struggling with it as well. So I go into it in more detail in that video, so go and watch that afterwards, or watch it first, put this on pause, and then come back to this one. But essentially, we had to make a decision as to whether we needed to do something or not, and for us, we did need to do something because it continued to be hard, even when we had tried lots of different latching positions and lots of different support, you know, cushions under arms in different positions, that kind of thing. We realised, yeah, we actually do need to do something to get this sorted. Now, the NHS waiting list in the UK in London is really long for one. So I think it's going to take like 3 weeks to book it in to get it done anyway. But the only way to get lip tie or tongue tie or both sorted on the NHS, I don't know about lip tie because it wasn't discovered that he had lip tie until we went and get lasered. But to get it tongue tied, it has to be cut. Now, that procedure, from my understanding, was no anaesthetic, cut with scissors, and there's a lot of blood, obviously, and it's an open wound. And so I had a friend who told me to get it lasered because she had a really bad experience with her child in getting it cut and then having to get it lasered, essentially because when you get it cut, it is an open wound. There's 2 pieces of flesh that have been cut open. So the healing process can take longer compared to having it lasered. It also is more likely to reattach. So if you've got 2 pieces of flesh that are open, obviously when they are healing, they could heal and fuse back together. And that did actually happen to one of my friend's babies. And so that means that you need to go through the entire procedure again. And so I didn't really want to have to go down that route. I didn't want it to reattach. I wanted to make sure that it was just one job that we got done and it was sorted and we didn't have to revisit it. Lasering provides quicker healing because it actually vaporizes the tissue. It's a lot more precise, so it's much more exact, which is great. It's a lot less likely to attach. And the other thing, and something that was really important to us, is that there's no blood. And so not only is it less invasive, but there's also just a lot less trauma, I think, for the parents as much for the baby. Now, let me be real, when we did get it lasered, it obviously wasn't comfortable for Brody. Like, he still was in pain for that short amount of time, but it healed really quickly. There were exercises that we did, like rubbing of the gums to encourage movement of the tongue, which really helps in making sure it doesn't reattach, because apparently it can reattach still with laser, but it's way less likely to. And so we were doing those exercises religiously, and he was really enjoying them, moving his tongue around. And obviously that helps to get the tongue used to moving, because before, when there's a tongue tie, or his tongue tie anyway, the way that they described it really nicely was there was like a small rubber band almost pulling back his tongue, so his tongue couldn't extend as much as he would have wanted it to get a good latch. And so obviously that's been extended and it's been cut, so he's able to move it more, but maybe he wasn't used to moving it. So we got it done when he was 9 days old. And so that's really good, because the sooner we got it done, it meant that he didn't have that many days of experiencing and getting used to latching in a particular way. And he had a lot better chance. From what we were told is that the longer you wait, the harder it is, because obviously habits have been formed. So that's the reason why we wanted to get it done quickly. But if you are someone who's going through it be supported, like call, get the support, go to children's centres, speak to your breastfeeding support team, join local mothers groups and get the support from other mothers, because it is challenging. It's so challenging when you can't feed your baby the way that you want to, and if it's painful as well, be really emotional to deal with. And obviously your baby's crying and wants food and you just want to be able to feed your baby, and if you want to breastfeed and you're struggling to, then that can be quite sad and quite challenging and quite emotional, like I said. So I think get support, speak about it, don't be ashamed, don't be afraid. There are so many people that do struggle with breastfeeding. 1 in 10 babies have tongue tie, and most commonly it is in boys. If that's something that your baby's experiencing, then look into the different ways. You know, you might want to just go down the NHS route, absolutely. Obviously that's a free option in the UK. Going to get it lasered was a private option, and so there was obviously a cost involved in that, which we were in a position where we were able to pay and we wanted to pay, and I understand that not everyone might be in that position. It's good to explore different options and at least do your research and figure out what route would work best for you financially, but also in a time perspective, and also just for you and your baby in the situation that you're in. And just remember, everyone is in a different situation, so you can only do what works best for you. I did what worked best for us. We're really happy with it. We had really, really good results with the laser. We didn't have to go back. Within 5 minutes after the procedure, we're sitting in the reception, breastfeeding completely normally, no pain. I was like,
oh, this is what it's supposed to be like. That's amazing.
The week after, like the days after, little challenges because he was in pain himself. So he was healing, that wound was healing. But then after that, we're breastfeeding really, really easily, really happily, have been now, he's 4 months old now. So have been consistently from day 9 to him being 4 months old. So that's it from me. I kept it really short and sweet because I just want you to feel that it's a quick little bit of information. I hope you feel supported and maybe a little bit less alone if that's a journey that you're going down, and if you're comparing the two and you're not sure which route to go down. That was our experience. No blood, not really very invasive. Yes, there was time to heal. Do the exercises. If they tell you to do the exercises, absolutely do them. And just try and keep positive. And I think the other thing I would say is to the mother, just know that every day is different. So there might be one day where you feel like, oh my goodness, this is never going to get better. He's never going to like feel comfortable feeding, and neither am I. And just know that things change very, very quickly. And one day it might feel impossible, and the next day it might feel really, really easy. And you might be like,
wait, what? I don't understand.
Like it felt impossible yesterday, and that's just the way it is. It's such a weird thing to explain, but you just have to go with the flow. Keep trying. If breastfeeding is something you really want to try doing, and if you've gone through the procedure of laser or the snip, whichever one it is, just keep at it. We ended up having to wean him off nipple shields. I am going to make another video on that, so stay tuned. I have a whole playlist on pregnancy, postnatal, baby life. So a video is coming soon on how I managed to wean my baby off nipple shields, because honestly at one point I thought,
we're just never going to get off the nipple shields.
So stay tuned for that if that's something that you're currently struggling with. And if you have any questions, let me know. I hope this helped, and I'll see you again in our next video. Bye.